Hello YouTube, Fable here. Sorry for the long absence, but for today's video, I'll be showcasing a Dracoslayer demo guide for those new to the deck and to those kept asking me for some guidance, of course. So that's what today's video is going to be about, and there will be a card by card of the 3 important key cards in the deck, and then there's going to be a combo tutorial for the deck, and then there's also going to be a demo replay going first as well as going second. But just note that for those type of replays, it's really it's a player by player sort of thing, so it's not really always going to happen the way it is. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Alrighty, Majesty Pegasus. So what does it offer? It's basically on pen or special summon by a Dracoslayer, it searches any field spell in the game, which is really good. Now in scale, it searches any Dracoslayer name as long as the opposite scale is a Dracoslayer or a Magispector name, and the destruction effect is optional. Now the niche effect does not come up, but it's basically prevention of targeting and destruction effects against Dracoslayers from the opponent. Now Dynamite, what does it offer? It's basically a special summon of another Dracoslayer from the scale, and then its monster effect is when tributed, you can add another Dracoslayer besides itself from the extra deck to the hand. You combo this with Dino Stir. Now for Ignis Phoenix is on destruction, you get a special summon Dracoslayer, that becomes a tuner, and it's a very hard one with claws. Now its pen effect is if you're playing a non-pen Ignite or Dracoslayers name, you get to add a card. Now the core of the deck is basically as follows. You want triple Pegasus, triple Ignis Phoenix, triple Dynamite, triple Bambuku, double Luster now that Luster's at 2, 1 Master Pendulum, triple Revolution, 1 Sky Iris, 1 Astrograph, and 1 Dino Mist Charge. That basically makes up the core of the main deck. The rest is really up to you as to what you want to add and what preferences you would like for the deck. And just in case you would like a visual example what it looks like, this is basically what it looks like. Now the extra deck, you do want 1 Dino Stir, at least 1 Prominence, 1 Paladin, 1 Electromite, 1 Beyond, 1 Selene, and 1 Zeal. So that's for the extra deck. You want to know what the extra deck will look like, but the main deck is right there. Alrighty folks, this will be the demo guide section of the video, and it's mainly a combo guide. So without further ado, let's go through this process, right? So with this hand here, we have a relatively okay hand. It's quite ashable given that, well, we really didn't open a great hand. So obviously 1 Sky Iris Ash is pretty much, yeah. But we have Nibiru, so we have some sort of play if need be. But here we're going to activate the Sky Iris, and we're going to scale the Ignis Phoenix. Now we're going to activate the Sky Iris, and we're going to pop the Phoenix, and then we're going to add Revolution. Now we're going to pretend they didn't have any interruption whatsoever, so we're going to activate Phoenix here. Phoenix is going to special summon us a Dracoslayer name, and that name will then become a tuner. Now because we have Sky Iris on field, special summoning the Pegasus will not activate her effect because we're only playing 1 field spell, meaning we can special summon Might, we can special summon any of them besides Luster to turn them into a tuner. Now with this hand here, we do have a normal summon, so we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to special summon out 1 Pegasus, and now she's a tuner. We're going to normal summon our 1 Phoenix. This will make us the Prominence. And now we're going to use Prominence's effect to special summon a Dracoslayer name from the deck. And we're going to special summon any of these names, it doesn't matter. We're going to special summon the Might. And before we make Beyond, we want to activate Revolution to search us a scale. We're going to search Arc. And now we have high and low scale. We're going to pen from here, make the Beyond. And now Beyond's effect is going to add us a Pendulum name. What we're going to add, because we have 8 through 1, we could basically summon 2 to 7. We are going to add to our hand anything from Revolution to Astrograph to Bambuku in this situation here, right? Because we have pretty much full combo. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the Revolution, our second Revolution. Then we're going to scale the Seers, scale the Arc, and then pen from here. We're going to pen out 2 names. We're going to pen out both the Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out 2 names. We're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out 2 names. We're going to pen out both the Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out 2 names. We're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out 2 names. We're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out 2 names. We're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out 2 names. We're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to pen out both Phoenixes. And then we're going to now summon Paladin. Paladin's effect, end phase, search a pendulum name. Now we're actually actual effect to detach, special summon another name. We're going to summon Pegasus. Now we're going to use Sears and Scale to add back the Revolution. We're not going to trigger arcs just yet. We're going to scale the Revolution. And now we're going to revive the Ignis that we put into the graveyard. Now, because we're in Abyssal like meta, they can't really target Ignis Prominence because it's a fire. And also, the only way to add it would be the DD Crow because I only have one copy. So now I'm going to activate Prominence effect one more time. And we're going to special summon another Dracoslayer name. It does not matter here what we're going to do. We're going to hold on to the arc special summon because we want space. So now we're going to scale the second Revolution. And we're going to make a Selene from here. So we're going to go Selene by taking our used Paladin plus a Spellcaster, which is Beyond. Selene will now have 3 spell counters because our scales count as spells, and the Sky Iris is 1 spell, obviously. And we're not going to use her effect just yet, but what we're going to do at this point is make Electromites. Electromites effects by taking these 2. We're going to use Electromite to add the Astrograph. And now we're going to use her effect to pop the Sky Iris to add the Sork, right? So we're going to add the Sork. We're not going to use Sork's effect just yet. We're going to use Selene's effect here because she's going to be fodder at this point to make Zeal. And now we're going to make Zeal. We're going to activate Zeal's effect. I'm going to reset both the Electromite and the Ignister. Not the draw, but the... Actually, we didn't use her effect to draw just yet, so we're going to actually draw here. But Electromite's back on field. We're going to activate the Prominence effect now. Special summon another name. We can summon the Might. So here, we did use Prominence effect to summon the Might. Now we can take Prominence away, plus the Zeal to make the Cross Sheep, of course. To put Cross Sheep in this column here, because this column is blocked. And now we're going to activate the Revolution to revive back the Prominence. Prominence goes into this column over here. And now Electromite will allow us to draw. This will then allow us to trigger the Arc to summon Dissolver. So Dissolver is going over here. And I draw. I drew Joker, which is fine. Now I'm going to activate Electromite to pop the Astrograph. To add back the Astro. You can add a Revolution. We're going to search our last Revolution anyway. Really up to you what you want to do in this point. And this will add us the Revolution. Right. Now we are going to... we do have Dracoslayer names, so we can make the Dinoster by taking both the Astrograph and the Power, or the Might, put it into this column. This will trigger Cross Sheep and the Might in that we tributed to add us another name. And that name can be from Spellcasters to Ignis. So here we're going to add Luster or Pegasus. What we're going to do is add Pegasus. And then we're going to specials back the Ignis. And we did not use Dinosaur's effect, so what we're going to do is, now that we have full range, we're going to scale the Pegasus. And then we're going to make us the Vortex. And we're going to put Vortex here. And now we're going to take all of these to make Hope. Not Hope. We're going to take this, we're going to take this, and we're going to take Electromite, and we're going to take the Cross Sheet to give us space to make the Appaloosa. And now we're going to scale our Revolution one more time. And we're going to activate the Dinoster. Dinoster will revive the last Ignis from the graveyard. Now we're going to activate Revolution to revive the Ignis. And I'm going to activate Ignis one more time to special summon another name. This name does not matter. And now we're going to take both of these. You can, because we're not playing Abyss Dweller in this version, your emblem would have been Abyss Dweller here. So first we're going to make Hope in attack position, or in defense. In this meta, I'd rather put in defense. The reason you want to put Hope Harbinger in defense is because of Bestial Druid Swarm. So that if the Druid Swarm, you choose to use Hope Harbinger to balance the attack to itself, you don't destroy the Jewel Swarm, which will activate its effect, right? So you put in defense, and there's not a lot of monsters right now for this meta that has over 2,500 attack to run over the Hope. So it's safe to put in defense to protect your Appaloosa a little better. For example, the thing I mentioned with Jerusalem, right? So now I'm going to take both the Ignis and the Master Pendulum. Now here, we don't have Abyss Dweller like I said, so we're going to make the IP Masquerena. And IP Masquerena will be a disruption whether you're playing the Unicorn package thanks to the Paladin you search off of, or an Underworld package. So I'm using the Underworld because I feel like Underworld is a lot better because I don't like to discard, and it just shuts down any sort of special summon from their graveyard while it's on the field, as well as negating other monsters' effect on their side. That's why I choose Underworld. However, it's a hefty cost because it requires IP Masquerena, your Appaloosa, plus another monster on your side, and then their monster. But it's worth the cost because we do have follow-up with the Joker if we need to, right? But I think we went through 3 Revolution in this situation, so you're going to bounce one back with Vortex to continue your follow-up play. Okay, so that's basically the gist of this combo with what I worked with. And now if you have any questions, just feel free to leave it in the comments. Without further ado, let's go to a demo duel now. Alrighty, so for this demonstration, I will be going first, and my hand is pretty good. So I'm going to bait out any Ash with my Mbuku. Looks like they're choosing not to. I'm going to Pegasus, and then I'm going to Luster. I'm going to Luster first, not Pegasus there, just in case they did have an Ash. And there you go, there's an Ash. That means now my Pegasus is free to use her effect to add me a name, and Luster was purely bait. So Pegasus is going to add me Dynamite. Now I'm going to pop the Pegasus, scale the Might, activate Might to summon the Luster, and now I'm going to link those off to make Beyond. Here they can easily imperm me if they want to because I have pretty much full combo. So they chose to imperm, which is bait number 2, which is totally fine by me, I don't care. Now I'm going to scale Pegasus, and then just pretty much combo. Now we're going to pen here, Luster, and then the Pegasus. Pegasus adds me Sky Iris. I'm going to discard the Dissolver in hand. Next, I'm going to make the Ignister Prominence, just like in the combo. Ignister Prominence is going to special a name. I'm going to activate Sky Iris, and now before I do anything else, I'm going to make Celine. Right, Celine's going to have 3 counters. Now I'm going to activate Sky Iris. Sky Iris is going to pop the Might in scale to add me the Revolution. Now I'm not going to search Arc because it's pointless. I'm going to scale the Revolution, activate Revolution, summon the Ignister because it's not a hard one per turn effect. Ignister once again special summons another Dracoslayers. Then I make the Electromite. So it's a little extra comboing just to get to my board. So Electromite's going to add Astrograph, pops the Sky Iris, adds the Astro. Astro's effect will now search me the Revolution I just destroyed, as well as summoning himself. And keep in mind, I did not use the Electromite draw effect just yet. So when you tactics, Celine here to revive back the Dissolver. Then I'm going to link it off to make Zealantis to reset both the Electromite and the Ignister. Now, watch carefully where I place my my monsters in their specific column, because this is important when you go into your next link play. So Ignister Promise is going to summon and then link it off into Crush. You now have 2 zones free. Now Electromite is going to pop the Pegasus, adds back the Astrograph once again, special summons himself, and then now Electromite gets to draw. And you see that I have 2 zones free. Now I can make a fusion there and then have other plays as well. So add another Revolution. Electromite draws, I drew Tactic, which is perfect. Now I'm going to look at the opponent's hand and return a card back to the deck. And it's an Exo Sister player, and that means they lose pretty much because they cannot play through this. Now I'm going to dissolve over here to make the Vortex. Now because I did not make an Exceeds, I don't have a monster in the graveyard for a cross sheet, which is totally fine. I'm going to just Revolution, summon Prominence once again, special summon again, then Tribute to make Dino Stir, Cross Sheep, trigger the Might. Cross Sheep is not going to summon anything, but I still get to add a name. I choose to add Pegasus, then activate the Dino Stir to special summon the Pegasus, link everything off to make a 4-mat Appaloosa instead of a 5-mat, but it's enough. So Revolution pops once more to summon the Ignister. Ignister effect one more time just for the flex, and then make your last disruption, which is Hope Harbinger. Now without Paladin, I was not able to get my Dinosaur effect to go from the graveyard pitch, but it's okay. This is enough based on what they had. And then Maxi for the PM, and that is GG. So that is going first, and let me show you a go second version. Now this is me going second, and sometimes you might not have the out, sometimes you might do. And here I have one answer to going second. And it looks like it's a pile deck, so it's a Dragon Link pile deck, or I just call it Chaos Pile. So I'm going to save for add Black Dragon. Here, I'm not going to Nibiru on their 5th summon because it's pointless. The reason being is they still have potential other plays if I nib them that early, so I'm going to let them combo until I feel like it's safe enough for me to nib, and I know they won't have any more interruption the moment it's back to me, right? So what we're going to do is just wait it out. They're going to do their typical play. They're going to add Black Dragon, their White Dragons. Dragon's got them the field spell, and then they're just going to Romulus. Romulus is going to do its thing to mill and add them Ravine, all that shenanigans, right? So there's the Romulus, like I said. They're going to add the Ravine, and they're going to chain block to protect it from an Ash, even though yada yada yada. There's the Black Dragon, and then there's the Ravine. They're going to have a Dragon Ravine to pitch for rocket names. So gonna Tracer here. They're going to most likely boost Sector. Boost Sector is going to give them the rocket. So this is beyond the 5th summon at this point. I'm still not going to nib yet. I want them to go through as much of their resource as possible, just so then it's hard for them to come back from the grind game. That's the whole purpose. The only time you want to nib is when they threaten the nib, in which case I had my toggle off, so I did not threaten nib, and I just let them combo and just basically overextend. So the moment they summon any sort of disruption to my nib to prevent me from nibbing, that is when I will nib. Rockets or specific chaos in this version, they're locked into darks because of Tracer's effect. And Burl N is not going to negate the Nibiru, so they're still under a vulnerability of nib. And at this point, they can potentially nib, disrupt my nib. So here, Borlo cannot negate until it has counters, so this is when you want to nib. Right, and then the rest comes down to whether or not they can follow up, because I just killed off 2 negates easily, and these only have 8 extra cards in the extra deck. So their last couple plays left, what will it be? So they're going to tactics. They're going to look at my hand, and they're going to bounce the Pegasus. Now why are they bouncing my Pegasus, you're wondering? It's because they most likely have follow-up answer to one of these here, and that is most likely either Imperm or a Call By. That's why they bounced the Pegasus, because they cannot respond to Pegasus thanks to having a Raccoon in hand. So now I have to either play on a Call By or an Imperm, right? So they're going to summon, quick launch, and they're going to make a Druid Worm. Now here they could easily have just stopped with this, but I think they just misplayed and made a Chaos Angel for some reason, even though Chaos Angel is not going to benefit from having 2 darks, because all it does is prevent it from being destroyed by battle. So this is either Imperm or Callback based off the tactics. So I drew Dissolver, which is fine. So you have one Revolution, and at this point, the moment I went to Graveyard, I knew it was a Callback. I just knew it was a Callback, and that's okay. It just means I cannot make extension plays off of Ignister Prominence without my Revolution. That's A-okay. However, I felt like they should have just left the Druid Swarm. Anyway, Joker's effect. Joker is going to add me to Seers, and then I went for Battle. I chose to go for Joker because it's safer, and then Dissolver's effect to prevent destruction, etc. Make the Beyond here because they cannot disrupt it anymore. Beyond is going to be adding high sky. I'm going to add Ignis Phoenix, the Dracoslayer. Now scale the Seers, scale the Phoenix. And I'm going to pen everything. Beyond's effect is going to pop token plus Ignis Phoenix in scale. This will trigger its effect to summon a Tuner Dracoslayer. And I'm going to add a Pegasus to hand off Raccoon. Pop token, now add a Tuner, and we special summon Pegasus. Then I make Ignister Prominence. There's no point in searching for Sky Iris because my Revolution is negated. Keep that in mind. So Prominence is going to bounce the Seers, return to Chaos Angel because it's not unaffected since it was not used with Light. Make Dinoster, add back Phoenix, then summon Phoenix, then go into Hope. Now take both Beyond, take Phoenix to make Selene. Selene's effect to go into Appaloosa, and that's basically a very brutal end war for them because they will have to really top deck a hard card, and based off what they're running, it's very hard for that to happen. So let's see what they do. And it looks like they pass. So back to me. Let's see if I can top deck anything useful right now. And the answer is no, I did not, but that's okay. I still have enough disruption. Hope attacks, Apple attacks, and then back to them. So they still have to play through 2 monster negates plus a spell negate. And they're still in a really bad spot right now. So I'm not going to negate the quick launch. There's no reason to do that. They're going to Tracer pop itself to summon the Silver Rocket to go into Striker. Now Rocket I will negate in case they're playing a second Boot Sector. So I'm going to negate that. And they're going to add the Recharger, which will give them, of course, the Monster Ink, which you do not want them to do. And they're forced to battle, which I'm under protection, so I hope it's going to protect. And then that's basically GG. Yep. So based off that situation, they had a monster in hand. And that's really about it. So yeah, I hope you find this helpful in any way. And I don't like saying this, but if you like, please don't forget to subscribe. It really does help the channel. But But anyway, that's really about it, folks, and sorry for the late video. Just a lot of things coming up. But yeah, so I'll see you folks later. Alright, take care.